Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Once again, and it just seems to be a daily occurrence now, John Swinney has got the begging bowl out and he's asking members of the party to please, he says, continue to dig ever deeper into your pockets and help the party out. He's saying that they are facing the last 4 weeks of the election contest and they know that it's going to be a very expensive time and that they literally don't have the money. He's admitted it. They don't have the money to fight the election. Now, this is at odds with what he said a few weeks ago when being interviewed, when he said, "Oh, don't you worry about that," he said. "We'll definitely have the money to fight this election." So that was a lie. Now, what's he doing? Of course, he's saying you must put in more cash. And he's saying to the members, do please cough up more. Now, we know from the Election Commission figures that there's been no major donations this year. They've had to admit that. Nobody is paying in. They've got no corporate sponsors, as we mentioned before, as well, because there's too much shadiness and shenanigans going on with police investigations. Nobody wants to tie themselves and align themselves closely with crooks. So that's scuppering them at the very least. One of the other, shall we say, interesting ways of raising capital, raising cash, are the GoFundMes. Now, what people don't realise is that it's not secure that you get any money at all from a GoFundMe. There are various GoFundMes around, and without naming and shaming, one of them, as mentioned in a report, says that they've set up a GoFundMe where they want £2,000. Now, they're saying it's been up for 3 weeks now, and it's raised 715 out of that £2,000. Here's the thing. You tend to raise more in the early days of the fund. That's number one. Because obviously it's new. It's exciting. People, yeah, I've heard it. And as time goes on, it tails off and you get, the law of diminishing return, shall we say. Each day brings in less and less money than the day before. Only to be expected. And so as time goes on, it becomes increasingly unlikely that those targets are met. Now, at the moment, as I say, it's standing at £715 after 3 weeks. It seems very unlikely that it's going to hit £2,000. Now, they obviously have to have that money prior to election day. So let's say, generously, there's another 3 weeks left. That means they've got 3 weeks to raise 2/3 of what they need. It's taken them 3 weeks to reach 1/3, and that's going to be all the most of it. So it's not going to happen. So they're not going to hit their targets. What does this mean? Does it mean they're going to be underfunded by, £1,100 or something? No. Because the way that GoFundMe works is, if you don't hit your target at all, you get nothing. So that £715, which is pledged, that doesn't come. You don't get it. That goes back to the original people who pledge. And this is where it's good, they charge you a percentage. This could end up costing members money. So that MP, or prospective MP, who set up a GoFundMe to pay for the deposit, will not only lose the £500 deposit if they lose the seat, but they'll also have on top of that the GoFundMe costs as well if they don't make their target. Great, isn't it? So they end up not only not achieving the money they desire, but it ends up costing them. There's not one or two, it's a lot of them. Very, very few of them have actually hit the target they've raised, because there's not enough money out there. Because one of the side effects of 17 years of SNP policy is to make everybody impoverished and poor, and nobody's got spare cash. If they had got spare cash, they're going to spend it on their children, not on some political party. And those particular chickens are coming home to roost. And they aren't good, are they? And this is the problem that they've created entirely by their own hand. So they don't have any money. They've got no income. They've got no prospect of income. And the only other way left to them is either begging bowls out to people who've already given and may feel aggrieved, upset or angry at having to be forced to give again for a party that promises big but doesn't deliver. Or they have failing GoFundMes, which not only won't reach the target, but may well end up costing the people who set up the GoFundMes money as well. You know, it's laughably funny. It is absolutely fantastic to see. It goes to show, of course, that this is a party that's desperate to stay in charge and desperate to say, look, you can trust us with the running of an economy. They can't even run their own party. That is how desperate they are. Now, Swinney goes out and he makes speech after speech. And the thing is, he gets these speeches and he gets all these like his cronies around him, all the prospective MPs behind him. And as he's giving these speeches, they're just bland, nothing burger kind of speeches. And you see all these MPs and whatever behind him, prospective candidates and all that. Look, they're all looking at him. And you can see on their face the realisation, and it's in their eyes. They do that, you know, that rictus of death grin that they have, like, you know, they have to smile for the camera kind of thing, but it's so false and false. But you can see in their eyes, they all know. They all know that they are well and truly buggered. They all know that they've been found out. They all know that they're going to lose. Some of them have never worked in the real world, you know, have no idea what they're going to do, know that they're effectively unemployable. I mean, you've got the likes of Flynn. He was an example when Swinney was giving his speech. Have you look at the face? Go back and look at it. Or any time Swinney's speaking and Flynn's behind him. Look at Flynn's face. It's a man who's Bidened himself, you know. He's dropped a little nugget, a little pant potato. And he's standing there trying, hoping that people don't notice. And he's got that look on his face. And it's a man worried for his future. And while Swinney sits there, well, I suppose there's no difference. The only difference between Biden and Swinney is Swinney's shitting himself, whereas Biden already has. But while Swinney sits there begging, he just shows the party up to be weak and finished. And there's no getting away from it. It's going to be joyous, isn't it? These people haven't got a hope. There's no future for the SNP. They are done. They are done. Anyway, thanks very much. Take care and goodbye.